Hey YouTube, Joyboy here. So today I have an extremely awesome observation that was shared with me. But before I get into that, I do want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves / are enjoying themselves. I always get confused about the time zones and what time it is in the various parts of the world that watch my videos. So if you're still partying hard to the New Year's, then by all means continue going. Don't let me distract you. But anyway guys, what I want to share with you today is an observation which highly supports the idea that Captain Yorkie of the Rumbar Pirates, and if you don't know who that is off the top of your head, that was Brook's original crew and his original captain who supposedly died to an incurable disease. This idea supports the idea that he is alive and that we have seen him already. But guys, I want to emphasize that what I'm going to be talking about today is a popular theory. Yorkie being alive is very popular, as well as the additional evidence that I'm going to throw in here is also very popular. The one thing that changes is a specific bit of evidence. You'll get what I mean when I bring it up. But anyway guys, let's start off with this. Just based on what we know about Yorkie's situation, what about it suggests that Yorkie is still alive? Well, the main thing is that Yorkie did not officially die. And you should be very skeptical of any quote-unquote death that isn't absolutely official in the story of One Piece, because many characters seem to die, but then Oda later reintroduces them. So, with this being said, Yorkie actually died, quote-unquote, before the rest of Brook's crew. He came down with an incurable disease, and rather than bring down the Rumbar Pirates with his sickness, he decided to leave prematurely on their journey throughout the Grand Line to go find a cure. So if Yorkie did actually die, we have to ask some questions. Oda planned on killing all of the Rumbar Pirates anyway, right? Because all the Rumbar Pirates died with, it appears as though Brook as their captain after Yorkie had left. And so why would Oda send Yorkie on an adventure to find a cure in the first place? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you plan on killing him, why give him this slight chance of perhaps finding some sort of cure? And then he planned on killing everyone anyway. The very obvious option that was available to Oda was to have Yorkie actually officially die on the Rumbar Pirate ship from his sickness, and then Brook as their captain leads them further on where the rest of the pirates died. But this is not what Oda chose to do, and because of the option available that Oda has set up, I believe highly supports the idea that Yorkie will indeed survive. From a good writing perspective, every single line in your story should have some sort of role to play, some sort of importance, whether it be small or big, whether it's for comedy or drama or progressing the plot or setting up a potential foreshadow, world building and exposition. Whatever role that the author has intended for a line, it must play a role. And so if Yorkie, like including the line that Yorkie was searching for a cure, is a line that absolutely has no value whatsoever if Yorkie just straight up died anyway, because you would get the equal amount of drama from Yorkie actually dying as him leaving searching for a cure, without setting up a possibility that you never planned on following through. So from this alone, I highly believe that Yorkie is actually alive, and that will have some part to play in the story of One Piece in the future. But let's add to this, there's a very popular theory that in chapter 631 of One Piece, in the cover story, we actually met Yorkie. We can see a mysterious man who's talking to Crocus, sharing a cup of sake in front of Laboon. And so there are two ideas for who this person could be. The two good ideas are Yorkie and or Scooper Gaban. Scooper Gaban, if you don't know, is actually pretty much the third in command of the Roger Pirates, behind Roger himself and Silver's Rayleigh. And so I'm not going to go into detail about the theory that suggests that this person is Scooper Gaban. It was a fantastic theory. However, I believe that evidence that I'm about to provide to you almost completely eliminates it as a possibility. And so what exactly is this evidence? Well, this was given to me by Ferron Duc. That's probably not the way that it's meant to be said. Maybe Ferron DK. Regardless, this person sent me this message with this particular observation. He also said that this theory also came about in the One Piece French community as well. So shout out to those guys as well. And the first thing that I want to say is that Oda specifically chose not to show this character's face. So if this was a character that we have seen before, then Oda would clearly be trying to hide that. In fact, I think that Oda could very well just show this character's face, and it wouldn't have any impact on us if it was a brand new character. So by him specifically not showing his face suggests by itself that this is a character that at some point in the story we have seen. But anyway guys, hair color is a very important clue to understanding who this person is. But of course, the manga comes out in black and white, so it's either shaded in or it's not. In this case, this character's hair was not shaded in, which gave everyone the impression that he had white hair or gray hair. Basically, he was an old man, and this is what I believed as well. However, as of 2012, Shueisha, the company which produces the One Piece manga, actually began to print official digitalized colored versions of the One Piece manga, and I believe these are only in Japanese. And when they choose to color in the official digitalized colored volumes, they do so with Oda's original colored schemes. Although there is at least one exception which I will not talk about. But for all intents and purposes, this is about as official as it's going to get, given that this is a cover story and the cover story is not adapted into the anime. And so, in the official colored version, what is the color of this character's hair? Well, it's not white and it's not gray. It's actually an off shade of blonde. Funny story about that, Yorkie's hair is actually also an off shade of blonde. Scooper Gaban, meanwhile, the other popular theory, actually had pretty much jet black hair or very black hair, and if he got older, then this black hair would at no point in time turn into blonde hair. So at this point in time, I believe that the Scooper Gaban theory is practically debunked, but the theory that this is Yorkie actually got additional evidence. But so what exactly is the theory that really comprises the idea that this may be Yorkie? Well, this is one of the simplest theories possibly out there because there isn't really a lot of evidence that comprises this theory. It's pretty simple. Crocus clearly knows whoever he's having a drink with, right? And so the amount of characters that we know have established connections with Crocus is very small. And we also know that Yorkie and Crocus had this kind of relationship. Couple this with the idea that Yorkie is still alive, and boom, that's the theory. And so, if this is indeed Yorkie, we did learn at least one new and interesting thing, which is that the person that we see in this cover story is wearing attire that is reminiscent of Wano. And if this is Yorkie, then we would have to assume that Yorkie at some point in time lived in or visited Wano. Funny thing about this is I made a theory very recently, which a lot of people I think enjoyed that theory, which is that there's some sort of miracle cure involving Sakura in Wano Kuni. Now, I'm not saying that this in any way confirms that particular idea, but if this is the case, perhaps Yorkie actually found his cure to his incurable disease in Wano. That by itself would be a reveal and a half. But anyway guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree and why. Just share your thoughts. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, subscribe if you want to be notified for my future videos, and as always guys, have a wonderful day.